not mistaken, I believe 13 states were affected. Millions of people, millions of power outages, and I believe, I know that the total damage in New York was about $41 billion, and in New Jersey, I think $36 billion.
We got there on Sunday. By Wednesday, the storm was Monday, Tuesday. By Wednesday, we were waiting for 10,000 meals to be delivered from New York City to be delivered. We delivered to shelters where the people said, "We're glad you're here," because we didn't know where we were going to get the food for our next feeding. We delivered to shelters where it was dark out, and we hit live wires on the road while we were getting there. We delivered food out the window in Staten Island, where the damage was most apparent.
Then we had another girl who came to the truck. It was about 40 degrees that day. It was pretty cold. These people had been without power in the cold for 5 days. And she started looking through the piles of clothes for a pair of gloves. She just said, I just need some gloves, I'm so cold. And Karen, the local lady, took her gloves off and handed them to her. And I got pretty choked up about that.
I was given a mental health referral for a middle-aged woman and her adult-age son, who was about 35 and was living with severe cerebral palsy. My partner and I, because we always go out in teams, introduced ourselves to this woman, and she invited us in and invited us back to meet her son, who was in bed on oxygen in a hospital bed requiring electrical hookups for mattress that kind of moved back and forth to prevent bed sores. She had a device that helped her suction her son because he had a lot of phlegm, because the illness he has is accompanied with that.
The hardest part for me was we were handing out these meals. Cliff and the other people were working very hard in the truck, making them as fast as they could. And there was a gentleman on the other side of the street. There were 2 lanes of traffic between us and him, and he was older. He kind of reminded me of my dad. And he was rolling up the street in one of those little motorized wheelchairs. And he looked over at me with this haunted look that I will never forget. So I got a meal and 2 bottles of water, and I took them across the street to him. And he said, "Thank you, and God bless you." And as he rolled up the street, he started crying, and the tears were rolling down his face. And I just about lost it right then, but I held it together because we were still there for another 2 hours. And there were, he wasn't the only one, but he was the one that affected me the most.
There's one woman who, when she came in, she wasn't very responsive to the staff, to the Red Cross, to anybody really. She had 2 little dogs, and that was her whole world. And then one day, we got portable showers, and she came up in her bathrobe, and the look on her face, she told us that it was the first shower she'd taken since the hurricane, so it'd been about a week and a half. And she was so happy, so thankful, and just, it made us all stop and be in that moment with her.
But there's some defining moment in every day and on every deployment where you think, okay, this is why I was here.
I think in the course of 2 weeks there serving food, we received more "God bless yous," "Thank you for being here," "What would we do without the Red Cross?" That's the payoff for the whole thing.